Right, object of today's exercise is to recheck on some of these old trails that went down through here that ain't used too much anymore. Old sign, eh? Yeah. Right. As I said in one of my other videos, please be cognizant of the gates. It says please close the gate, but make sure we do, because this is cattle country up in here. Past a whole pile of elk on the road when I came up through here. It's a little chilly down in here this morning. What have we got here? Found a little adaptery something or other. Somebody lost that. Let's I'll put that over in the other parking area there and go from there. This first bit just cuts back across to the road, and you basically follow it down the road for a little bit. Up in here, just takes you across to the road. Got to walk down the road a little bit, about 100 yards down past this sign. There used to be a piece that went off over in there somewhere, but not sure exactly where that went. Yeah, that road I just came down, this was the continuation of the road at one point. Now you can walk to where I'm going, all the way down this road if you want. Not sure why you'd want to, because it's a pretty abysmal road. But there are trails that go off up through the forest here on the side. And I want to cut down through here somewhere. There should be a creek in here that I got across, and should be able to head on down this old trail here somewhere. Yeah, it's going to wander through this forest here for a touch. Yeah, roughly that direction is where I want to go. I'll do some more in a moment. Alright, just going to update this first part of the trail, because it's pretty all tumbled down in there, so you're actually better off coming out the parking lot, which is just down there where that sign is. Walk up the road a short distance, you'll see a wooden post with nothing on it, and then just off to this side through the trees you'll see there's a gap through here. There's a bit of flagging on the corner there. Yeah, you just head up into here and get that branch off there, follow it up. This is the old Link Creek trail. Somebody's been through here and put some marker tape up, so that's very nice. Thank you very much, whoever that was. I shall follow this and see where it goes. Well, this is a bit of a meandering trail that disappears through the forest here in all kinds of directions, courtesy of the cows, but very nice walk. I have found a much better tread. Now I don't know whether this is just a much better cow trail or whether this is part of the old trail, but it's going the direction I want, which is roughly that way. So I will do that. I'll cut a piece off this tree just to give it a cut end, and then everybody knows where we're going. Perfect. Well, this is actually very nice up in here. It follows the creek. This here is Link Creek. It follows the creek along. It's reasonably easy walking. Looks like the cows have been using it quite a bit, which is good. They can be a pain when it comes to mud holes, but I can tell you now, they do keep the trails open. Let's have a look what we got in the mud. Always look in the mud, because that's when you can see what else is around. Some deer. And that looks like about it, really. Yeah. Some deer. Yes. That creek, that's a lovely sound there, eh? Yeah. Right, as with the other day, I got my welly boots on today, because let's make it a lot easier. I can tell you, crossing Link Creek, it was only about 6 inches of water, but that 6 inches of water I don't have to worry about. Right, there's a couple of small ones here. I'm just going to move out the way, and I will continue on my way. Right, my forest walk continues on a very lovely day. I love these trees. Look at this. This tree's obviously fallen over. It's down, but it's not out. There's a tree over there with flagging on it that's come over. I just cut the end off that. But these trees like this, I love these. I'd never cut these trees because they're still surviving. Look at that. It's fallen right over, and yet it's turning back to face the sky. It's down, but not out. Unlike just like over here, which is very much down and also coming out. So let's put the junk over here. This one's going to be fine. Look. There you go. Whew. That stuff's heavy. I don't particularly like cutting that stuff, but it's a pain to walk around, that I can tell you. Right, have a quick drink of water. Enjoy that amazing forest. Look at that. Isn't this nice? Take some more of that. Whew. Yeah, that one was a bit so this stuff, it's not exactly big, but that's only what, 5-6 inches. But I can tell you now, that stuff is bloody heavy. Like if you got a big one of these like that one there, that's about 14 inches, 15 inches through. There's no way I'd even begin to think about moving that. That log there, I can tell you, is heavy enough. Yeah, I certainly couldn't pick it up, but I can twist it. So, right, I need to head on my way that way. Do some more in a minute. Well, slowly clearing off all this deadfall one little bit at a time. Now I recognise that. I saw that in another video. It can doesn't look that old actually. So I will head on up this way. Braids a bit in here, but if you kind of follow the general direction, I'm heading up the valley at the moment, so I'm just going to keep the creek on that side. The creek's just down the bottom there. This is the old trail, as you can see. It's a little wet in places, but there's so many cattle bypass trails around it, it's certainly not a problem to follow. If you can't follow this, you're really in trouble. Yeah, a little rutty with the cows and stuff. Let me get this little one off of there, and if I can pick that one up. Sometimes, if you're lucky. Oh yeah. There we go. Didn't have to cut that one. That's always nice. Right. I've had to cut out quite a few along here. There's been several down. As you can see, when you get old trails like this, this is what happens to them. See, where the trail was, it fills up with water and then it turns into a mud hole. So, and then you end up with all this braiding all the way around it. But either way, you keep the old trails walkable, people will use them. I have to admit, I mean, some people just want to go out and do the Instagram, you know, here's a fantastic place that I went, here's the pictures and all this kind of crap. Personally, I'd rather walk through that. That is way nicer. Look at this spongy forest, so nice to walk through. Right, I will head on up that way. Yeah, a good portion of this trail is actually very well trodden tread. Apparently this was a very well used trail back in the day. The main road down through here in the floods of 2013 got absolutely destroyed, so they closed it right off. And so this is what I like to do. See this branch sticking out here? If I just cut that, rather than putting tape on it, what I do is I just cut it so it's got a nice cut end. And you can see people have been through here. So you can mark trail without having to put up a huge amount of like flagging tape. The only places I tend to put flagging tape are places where it's easy to wander off in the wrong direction. So yeah, but as you can see, this trail braids all over the show, but it kind of goes in the same direction, so that's good. I know I'm going the right way because I'm heading towards the sunshine. If you look over there, there's sunshine over there. There's a great meadow over there I'm heading towards. I will put this away in that creek. Nice, eh? Like I say, I had to cross that creek to get down in here. It was just one small crossing and it wasn't even halfway up my welly boots. So I mean, if you had decent hiking boots on, you could just walk straight across there, no problem. Yeah. Look at this is a really nice trail. Yeah. All kinds of trees across here, Dave bridges I call those. Some of them look a little rot though. Not sure I'd want to walk across them. That's the other reason why I do trails like this in welly boots, because I know this meadow I'm coming up to up here can sit a bit wet. So we've got a bunch of trees down here and it looks like we have a bypass trail. So this is the kind of stuff you've got to look for. See, this through there obviously was the old trail, but as you can see there's something that goes up there as well, so I'm just going to explore and see what I can find. Well, this bit's rather nice. I like this. reasonably flat area, no large overhanging trees, good water source, somewhere to remember. Look at that. I don't think I'd want to wade across that, but in terms of water source, I'll certainly take that. Isn't that nice? Yeah, yeah, that's the way I've come. Like I say, this is the old Link Creek Trail. Most of it's a well-trodden tread. The only bits that kind of a bit weird is where trees have come down over the tread, obviously. They've never been cleared out. So that's part of my plan today, is to just help a little bit on this trail. And the top end of trail 19, I think I might have a go at some of that. Depends on how far I get. I've got somewhere else I've got to go today. But, today being D-Day, 80th anniversary of D-Day. And being ex-military, it's a very important day. I've taken the day off work, basically come out to the mountains, remember all the people that made all this possible. I get to walk through these mountains as a free person, basically to do whatever I want in one of the most amazing places that there is. And we owe it all to the millions of people that fought and died unfortunately in the last war. And here we are again, facing another ridiculous dictator, some little weenie egotistical, I won't say too much more, so I won't be able to post this on YouTube. But suffice it to say, the guy's useless, and I'll leave it at that, otherwise I'll get banned from YouTube. And here we are again, 80 years later, facing the same problem. Whole world's gearing up for war because of one man's ego. So that problem needs to be solved quicker, better than the last 5-year war that we had. So yeah, I think a resolution to that one is coming very soon. Right, let me carry on this way. This looks like the old tread. Somebody's put a bit of tape there, so I'm assuming this is the old tread. I'm just going to scout it and have a look. Right, I just come to an interesting little open area. I come out the trees over there. You get to here, there's a very definite split in a Y. That way goes across, and just down there there's a small creek crossing. It goes back up onto what was the road, I suspect. And that'll take you out to the top end of the meadow. But where I want to go is kind of down and around this mountain. Now I notice there is some pink tape here. So I'm suspecting these people are going the same way I am. So I'm going to proceed along here a bit, because to my left there's a steep mountain, to my right there is a creek. That creek is Link Creek. There is a crossing just over through there. That's a very nice tree. There's a crossing just over through there, which is very well used by the look of it. Certainly by cows, maybe not so much by people. But down through here is clearly marked with tape, so, and it goes around the corner that I want to go round. So I have a sneaking suspicion that whoever marked out this trail was heading across to 19 as well, because that's the only way that this would go. So I will put this away, if I can do that without cutting myself on my saw. Yeah, follow this down, step over yet more trees. That's the only thing down in here. There are so many trees down in here at the moment, it's just crazy. So I'm going to follow this down along. It's very clear that there is a trail down through there, so I will head down that way, see what I can find. Yeah, so the creek crossing, if you go the other way, is just down through those trees, up through there, and it goes out into the open, and it looks like that might be the road over there. I know this gets very close to the road. I opted to head off to the right and followed the tape. Some tape along here, a couple of small dead ones, and hey presto, I'm back on a really nice trail tread. So I'm pretty sure, me and my spidey senses, I'm pretty sure that this is going to swing around the corner, over that one, and down to where I need to go. Isn't that a great sound? Look at that. So you come out to places like this, with all the troubles in the world and all that kind of stuff, but you come out to a place like this and all that crap just disappears. It really does. And, that's why I'm here today. Yeah, look at that. I will certainly take that. There's lots of deadfall across the trail up here. Some bits I can clear out, some bits I can't. Some bits are dangerous, so I won't touch them. Like if I have a big tree with a huge root ball, this is not too bad. I'm not going to cut it, I don't need to. But if I have a tree with a huge root ball just there, I ain't cutting that. Yeah, I've seen big root balls like that literally roll downhill, and that could be 4 or 5 tons of mud in some of those big root balls, so never ever do that. So it looks like I definitely picked the right side of the trail to follow. When I got to that open area, I kind of peeled a little left, and these ones up here, I don't bother with these. I call these squirrel bridges. Yeah, but I can see there's a lot of activity down in here. Cows in here too. Keep finding cow crap. More cow crap. Like I say, cows can be a little bit of a pain in the rear end at times. They can really chew a place up. However, so can horses and stuff like that. However, they also help keep the trails open. So there's a time and a place for everything. And this is the right time and the right place for me to be here. I'm going to continue wending my way off down the valley. Once I get out into this big open up here, I'm going to head left and basically head south, well, south-ish, and then see if I can find some of the old Trail 19. See, pieces like this, sometimes, if you're lucky, look at that, stand on them, snap them in half, kick them off the trail. Easy peasy. Yeah. I do like this creek. I can certainly see why this old trail came along here. With, back in the day, when that was a road, see how open it is out there? That's where the road is. Yeah. Back in the day when that was a road, you had all kinds of traffic and that going up and down there. So, no idea why anybody would want to walk up and down that. But yeah, the road's just up there on the side. That hill that's in front of me, there, that's Gleason's Hill. And I'm heading up there a bit later. So, maybe later on today. On my way back, if I have time. I do have my headlamp, so I'm not too worried about if it gets dark or whatever. It's although this is a very interesting road to drive down in daylight, driving down it in the dark, I should think it's going to be quite interesting. So we'll see how that goes. But the road is literally just up there. I can see it. Oh, too many rocks in here. I don't like this bit. Yep. Let's go around now. It's always, because I'm always out in these places on my own, and today's a Thursday, so I can guarantee there ain't nobody else out around here. Always a good idea to be very, very careful when you step over rocks and stuff like that. Just be extra cautious, because if you fall over, bust a knee, twist an ankle, there ain't nobody coming to find you out here. I have left a detailed message and GPS coordinates with several people that I know. They're expecting me to be here for a couple of days, so if I'm not back in 3 days, they can send a search party. Maybe. Depends if they're on my Christmas card list or not. I don't know. They might send a search party. Who knows? Either way, yeah. Hopefully somebody would. But I have left instructions. If I'm not back in 3 days, send help. Yeah, yeah. There's a road over there. Look. Yeah. So this, for walking up through here, I can totally see why this was a good trail back in the day, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be now. It doesn't go to any stunning Instagram, oh my god, look at where I am kind of places. But if you like a walk through the forest, listening to the creek, I guarantee you, I mean, other than hunting season, I don't think you're going to find anybody up in here. It's a bit remote, to say the least. Oh, I see grass out there and a lot of it. So I should be coming up to the meadow here in a minute. Which also means I may have to cross this creek again. I don't know what these purple flowers are. I keep finding loads and loads and loads of these purple flowers. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Yes. Makes you really appreciate where we live. That is for sure. Yeah. Sometimes the world seems hard, and you have a bad day, good day, and you think, oh, for Christ's sake. And then you come out to somewhere like this. Look at it. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. Yeah. can even see the old white markers on the side of the road. There was a black and white marker up there. I don't know if you can see it in the picture. That was the marker for the road. Once upon a time, that was a 2-lane road. Had a lot of traffic on it. It was a big hoo-ha when they closed it down, but it I can certainly see why. I think they made the right decision. Right, either way, I will continue along this way and see what I find. Right, that's the way I've just come, down through the trees that way. Anybody that knows this area will certainly know these two big meadows up in here. I had a feeling this is where it was going to bring me out. Now just up here, I'll just get back out into this open here a little bit. We'll see where I am. Right, if you continue down there, roughly centre of shot, there's big meadows. There's two huge meadows there. That's trail 60 something, and this is a top end of 19. If you follow this trail all the way down through that way, which I'm going to do in a minute, that takes you all the way down to the Sheep River Valley. If you look right up through, well, that lot up there, that's All Smoke Mountain up along the top of there. So that's a very popular hike up along there. In front of me is Gleason's Hill. That's the one I was doing. Trail 57 runs around that one. I cleared out a bunch on 57 the other day. So down through here, that is actually a really good shortcut, because I know on that road there's a big up and over. So obviously following the creek, you don't have to do the big up and over. So this brings me out into this meadow, which is a very nice meadow, full of lovely flowers. Purple things are everywhere. I'm trying not to step on them. I'm trying to go round them. These poor little flowers have to fight for existence as it is. They don't need big clumpy booty people stomping all over them. So I will head. Believe it or not, there is a trail down through there. It doesn't get much use. It hardly ever used by anybody now, I don't think. But it's one of those trails. It is. There's only two trails that link north-south in this valley. I think this valley is called the Ware Drainage or Link Drainage or something like that. And it goes all the way south. If you follow this, I think it's about 10 kilometres, something like that, 10, 12 kilometres. Brings you out on the Sheep River Road. It's not too far from Sandy McNabb kind of area. And if you go that way, it takes you out onto the old Ware Creek Road. That's the old road up in there. Like I say, that mountain in front, that there is Gleason's Hill. I'm going to head up there later if I get time. And this is the meadow. It's very wet down in the bottom there, which is another good reason for coming through that way, because there's a snapped off big poplar there if you look. So if you head into the trees where that poplar is, there is a very well trodden trail that takes you all the way back to the Ware Creek parking lot. So that is going to be my way back. It says walking through that wet crap down there. I keep seeing a lot of deer and things moving up in here, so this is cattle country, and there is a lot of deer up in here. You also have to bear in mind there's a lot of bears and stuff and that up around, so it's always be aware. Be bear aware. I have two bear sprays with me today, both within easy reach, and I'm going to head on up through there and see what I can find. Down through there, that's trail 19. I'm going to go that way in a minute. Very small water crossing there, absolutely nothing to worry about. Step right across that. Up in here, just spotted some old signs on the ground. Yeah, there's the old map signs. And a bee. Hello, bee. See, this is why the flowers are important. Don't tread on them. This up in here at some stage was an old campsite. As you can see, the pollen crap or the tree seeds, Calgary snow, summer snow. This is Calgary summer snow. Get all the cottonwoods, see all the old trees tied up in there and what have you. People used to camp here at some stage by the look of it. This is covered in wildflowers, this little piece, so I will walk out of here very carefully. Like I say, there's the meadow. Right in the distance, roughly in the centre of the shot there. Now that's the road, you can just about see it. This camera does zoom, but not very well. So I will get back on the trail, avoiding the bees' breakfast. Let's go around all that lot. There's millions of these little purple things in here. No idea what they are, but there's a lot of them. So anybody knows what they are, I wouldn't mind knowing. Yeah. Right, so as far as I can see, we are going to go around here, follow this trail along. As you can see, it's well trodden. This was a very important trail at one point, but not too many people use it. And the thing you have to be careful of down in here is bears. Wakey wakey rise and shine. And down in there, on that side, it is very wet. So that's another reason why I have my welly boots on today, because I know there's several creek crossings, and I know I had to cross Link Creek at least twice. And depending on which way I go back, I may have to cross another creek. So depends how much time in the day I have. I see a tree across the trail. We'll see how big that is when I get there. See if it's worth me putting effort into removing it. The only problem down through here is because it doesn't get used much. When you get deadfall across a trail like this, nobody ever clears it. And then what happens is you end up with 50 million braided trails going in every direction you can imagine. And it ends up as a big mess. It actually ends up worse than if somebody puts the effort into clearing it. So this is actually not too bad. A little wet on this bit. I might see if I can cut a chunk out the middle of that and see what I can do. It's attached to roots on one end, so I can't even drag it round, so I might have to cut it twice. That's a pain. Either way, let me get on with it and see what I can do. Right, there's that one done. One bit at a time. It's not a very big tree, it's just in the way. Yeah? And to walk around it would be a major pain in the rear end. So, my philosophy with trails, it's very simple really. I can't clear every trail completely of every bit of deadfall because I'm cutting by hand. Good old silky saws, I love these things. And so I'm cutting by hand. I know that this particular trail, this is trail 19, has a bazillion trees down here, and I'm not overemphasizing that. It is a bazillion downed trees down in here, at least that many. I've only seen 2 videos of people coming through here, and both of them said they absolutely hated it because it was nothing but down trees. My theory is if I walk down here as far as I can today, clear up a little bit, if everybody does their little bit, it ends up with still a good trail. So first one done, trail 19. Right, so I'm heading roughly south now. Now this trail is a bit of a weird trail because, like I say, this is a water drainage down through here. And there is a cut line, a very clear cut line. If you look on Google Maps, there is a very clear cut line, but that is not the trail. It closely follows it and crisscrosses it God knows how many times. So let's just kick some of these off the trail. There we go. It follows it millions of times, crisscrosses. But like I say, down on this side is very wet. Up on this side is where the trail goes. As you can see, we've had a good size aspen. See these big heavy ones like this, I ain't touching those. I've played that game in the past. I can tell you, that's just not a good game. What I will do is put this camera away. There's a meadow coming up. And like I say, this is prime bear country, so I really need 2 hands to pay attention. So I will clear off a whole bunch of these little branches, get these off the trail. I ain't touching the trunk, that can stay there, and go from there. Now up through here, like I say, this is an old trail, so I don't know whether I'm following the correct trail or not, because down through there I can see some people have cut some deadfall out of there. But in this tree up here, way back when they used to mark trails, they would do them with these orange markers. So look at that, completely buried in the tree. Isn't that amazing? So I think, looking at this, I think the trail actually goes up through there. But I can also see that somebody's put a lot of time and effort into clearing this over here. Look. So swings and roundabouts. Do I follow religiously the old trail, or do I follow this? Because you can see somebody's cut the way up through here. Somebody's been up here with a chainsaw and cleared that lot right out. Must be a reason for that. So I'm gonna walk along the old trail for a little bit and just see how bad that is. And then because this looks wet, I can say that this is definitely wetter than where the old trail went. So me being me, I am going to follow the old trail a little bit, and if I deem that the old trail is better, I will come back this way and clear a whole bunch of these little, look at them, there's hundreds of little bits on here, and it wouldn't take me very long to clear a lot of these out. So, the problem is up in here, anybody that knows this area will tell you, it is absolutely littered with cattle side trails. I mean, I can see bits of stuff in here. This looks like an old tread. This looks like a path, well worn tree roots. Years of boots walking on tree roots, you can tell. Yeah, up through here, this looks like the trail. So I'm going to follow it. It follows very closely the side of that bit that's been chainsawed out. So there may be a perfectly good reason why they moved over that way that I don't know about yet. So I will follow this for a little ways. Clearly this was a trail. It certainly did. There's all kinds of cut ins, let's see. Cut in down there. So this clearly was a trail. Was, I think, being the operative word. Because that nice bit that's been chainsawed is off to my right, about 100 feet. So this is very clearly an old trail. Yeah, I see exactly what they did. This is 19, this piece I'm walking on, guarantee it. However, the piece down that side, I'll just move over here, I'll show you. You have to keep a close eye on the trees because you'll find that those diamonds, those orange diamonds all over the show. So that piece that had been cleared out, this is another meadow. See, that piece that had been cleared out and marked as 19 went down through there, but that piece that's been cut out with a chainsaw is just there. So pick one, people, pick a route. I suspect the old red marker is in the correct spot. I had to walk it just for the sheer hell of it. However, where they've chainsawed is right there. So this is part of the old cut line. See, the trail, original 19 went there, and the piece I just walked through was just there. So I did it just for the sake of doing it. Now, in here I have no clue where I'm going. Ahead of me there's a very clear cut line. I am keeping a very close eye out for those the old orange markers that you used to get. I like following them. Some of those old trails, they go to some interesting places. Yeah, but all up through that forest over there, there's a nice aspen bit up in there. That is absolutely full of cattle trails and God knows what. But if I continue across here, I know that I'm heading in the right direction. So the only problem is how wet you want your feet, and that is exactly the reason that I've worn my welly boots today, because dry feet are nice. Oh, hello. Not the only person to have come this way. I see a little bit of flagging in the tree. Yeah. A lot of people bitch and complain about flagging. Oh, leave no trace, you know. But you come out somewhere like this, a simple little bit of flagging like that. I mean, if you got to here, I mean, I know exactly where I am. But if I stand here, I know I have to go that way. There's trails I can see there. That is the correct route. There's trails I can see down in there, and I know that that goes down to very wet down in there. So sometimes that one little bit of flagging in the middle of nowhere may be a pain in the arse to you leave no trace people, but to somebody wandering around these mountains who was lost, that can be the difference between I know where I am or panic mode setting in. And you really don't want to have panic mode out here. This is the other reason I've got my welly boots. There's quite a few of these little creek crossings apparently. So if I was in my hiking boots, I would have to very carefully balance across the rocks and all that other good stuff. But since I have my welly boots on, it doesn't make any difference. Now, I do know that there's not much in the way of markers along here, for this trail. So I'm going to head down it a little ways. Not sure how far I'm going to go, because I do have to go up Gleason's Hill today. Got something very important to do, and I'm going to head down here. Now, this is clearly a trail, but you've got to be very careful not to end up just following the cut line. I don't really want to follow the cut line. I know I can just head south and follow the cut line all the way to Sheep River, but I don't really want to do that. Oh, there's some fresh deer up in here. Yeah. This is where having a good sense of direction comes in, because I do have my compass with me, but I can see where the sun is, and I know it's more than o'clock. It's probably about 9 o'clock, I guess, something like that, 8, 9 o'clock, and it's certainly not much before that. The sun's been up a couple of hours, so yeah, it's probably about there. But I know I have a considerable amount of daylight left, so like I say, anytime you come out like that, bring a headlamp with you. I do have a spare flashlight in my pack. It's no reason why I can't use either. I prefer not to walk through the forest in the dark. Oh look, see, look at this. I just found another little orange marker in the tree, and on the side of this there is a little piece that goes up there, look. Oh, okay, so what I suspect is that this is probably part of the old 19 then, because there's a well-trodden tread there, and if you went up through the forest through there, it would actually link up to that other piece that I was on just now. So, but to follow the original Trail 19, it's very, very difficult. Very difficult. Yes, I can see it. Right, let me show you. This is how easy it is to lose old trails. That looks like a very good trail. Trail 19 is actually there. So all that little deadfall, all that mess of crap that's in there, 9 million trees, is actually Trail 19. If I'm feeling enthusiastic on the way back, I might actually go that way. But that is actually the trail, that little piece that goes up the side there, because there is an orange marker in the tree up there. Amazing, eh? A lot of these old trails, they fade in, they fade out. This is the cut line that I'm on. And this is exactly the reason that I'm trying to avoid. Wake, rise and shine! Just saw something large and dark down there. Give me a second. Make sure nothing is moving. When you get a tree fallen over, you get a tree stump. It sometimes as you walk and as you move, it gives you a sense of, hey, that's moving and it's large and dark. And you don't want to be bumping into large, dark, fuzzy things. See, there's the cut line. And down through here, 2 diamonds. Look at that. 2 diamonds. And then one over there. Right, so the question is, where does this go? More importantly, why can I not see any other people prints? Maybe I'm the only crazy person coming this way. Yes, so this is the old Trail 19. I might, just for shits and giggles, see if I can restore that old piece at the top there, because it was only a very short piece, but there was a lot of trees down in it, lots and lots and lots. But I can certainly see why people went round it. Oh my god, what a mess. Okay, let's go see a whole bunch of trees in front of me that are going to need taking care of, so I will put this away and go and move some of them. Determined to keep following this trail. It's not easy, I can tell you. I can see why people have trouble following this. But it was once a very, very busy trail. Not so much now. Well, I tell you something. It's a very pleasant walk. Very pleasant indeed. So I'm going to carry on down there. Just going to remove some of these little eye pokey branches. I don't like eye height branches, all these little sharp. So quite often you can see where people have snapped them off over the years. It's better just to cut them back a little bit, and then you don't have to worry about them. Right, let me get that done. Oh, found another diamond and a piece of tape. So this is an exploratory wander around, that's for sure. So yes, so there's a piece of tape over there, very faded diamond in the tree. So somewhere that way is the trail, because it is the diamond. And somewhere this way, looking at it, so there's two bits here. Which is the best bit? Take the path of least resistance. They both go to the same place. So either way, they braid up through here. Doesn't really matter. The original trail is pretty much all over the show. Yeah. And that's the only problem with cattle country. Yes, they make very good trails. They're very good at keeping the trail. But if you have an official trail that doesn't get much use, it very quickly turns into this, which actually I don't mind. I like this, but it's I'm not one of these people that likes a 6 foot wide tarmac trail that takes you exactly to where you want to go with a yellow line down the middle. No, you can keep that crap. Much rather do this. Plod through the forest, see what I can find. Yeah. There's loads of nice little meadows down through here. Looking on Google Maps before it came, I can see that most of this actually follows down through. Oh, turn around and there it is on the tree right in front of me. Orange diamond. Perfect. Trail 19. We are still following you. I haven't given up on you yet. Yeah. Cleared out a few little bits on the trail. Like I say, if everybody clears out a couple of little bits, we end up with a good trail. Now, oh, here we go. It's the only problem with meadows. There's a million ways in and a million ways out. Oh, and saved by the diamond. You see it in the tree over there. So, as you come out of that one, there's a diamond up through the tree over there. I see it. That's a sneaky one. Almost missed that one. Right, let's follow my way down through there. Right, well, I just came up through there. There's a whole bunch of pieces being cut off there. As you can see, this has been cut off here. This is why cut trees are so good for trail marking, because once you know you're 100% on the tree, on a trail, you can just trim off a little end that's sticking out on the trail. Doesn't matter, just trim it off. But it leaves a cut end, and that's what people look for. Oh, that's another one across the trail. I can tell you now, this water is bloody cold. Yeah. Now on the other side of banks like this, let's see, this is why it's good to have welly boots. On the other side of banks, quite often you'll see footprints or whatever. Not a thing. Not a sign of another human anywhere. So, do I see any diamonds? No. But this does look like the trail, and I do see a cut end there. We've got one down across here. There's most definitely a cut end. So, oh yeah, there we go, this trail. Yeah, I shall follow that up there, see where we go. Oh yeah, this clearly got a lot of work back in the day. Yeah, there's loads of bits being cleared out of this trail. But if you came down here, I mean, as I get older, I mean, I cut all this by hand now, but as I get older, I am seriously tempted to get one of those little electric chainsaws. Yeah. See, to me, I mean, I can see these cut ends, but see this one that's sticking out? I don't need to cut it off. But if I cut a little piece off the end of that, it's got a nice clean square cut. Anybody walking up here will know that that's trail. I don't need to flag it or any of that. They'll just see a nice clean cut. So I will do just that. Oh boy. So this part of Trail 19 is infested, and I use the word nicely because I actually like those trees, with lodgepole. There are millions of them. I just cut one off a trail, which I thought I could cut once. As I cut it, it slid down the hill about another 20 feet, so I had to cut it again. And then another 20 feet slid down the hill, and so on and so on. And if you look through here, I did eventually get them all off. There's about 4 trees on that bit of corner. But it, as you can see, it's all like that through here. So most of these are steppy overlogs, and you can see where people have been doing that for some time. Yeah. Kick a few bits off. Somebody's been up in here and marked all this with flag tape, so that's rather nice. Gives me a much better heading, because I'm certain whoever it was that marked this had a very good knowledge of this area, because it's going in exactly the right direction. So I will continue on down that way and do some more. And this is why it pays to keep your eyes open. This one I just cut off of here because I thought, oh, just coming into a meadow. I always mark the way in and out of a meadow. I'm thinking, oh, I'll just cut that off. I look up the tree that it's leaning against. What do I see? Red diamond. Thank you very much. I missed that one. Yeah, it's on the other side of the tree. So with meadows, it's always a good idea to mark your way into a meadow. Like when I come into somewhere like this I don't know, I'll mark them up, and that's where I'll put marking tape. If I find that on my trip that the trail is actually blatant bloody obvious, on the way back I take down those bits of tape. I don't leave them up if they don't need to be there, but if they do need to be there, I leave them there. Anybody wants to complain about that can quite happily come up here with their saw and clear them out. Yeah, you can take the plastic down, bring your saw with you, bring a pair of nippers with you, and help maintain the trail. That is quite funny. I literally just cut that piece off the bottom. Yeah, I can see it clear as a bell here now. Far side of this piece. Sure enough, there's a big bloody marker in the tree. Yeah, don't know how I missed that. Yeah, you can see there's a well-trodden tread across here. When I'm following this, this is like a 6-lane highway. This is good. Actually, if it keeps getting much warmer, I'm going to have to lose a layer. I did layer up today, but I can hear some more water, I think. So, oh yeah, another water crossing. So I will head down across this water crossing. I think I will stop for a water break just the other side and lose a layer. Right, let me cross over here and see what we got going on. Yeah. Yes, I think I'll stop the other side of this one. A bit more shady. A bit of heat in that sun. I'm going to leave some good footprints in here. Right, another creek crossing. Nothing in the mud the other side. No animal tracks, no people tracks. Now, using my spidey senses, I'm suspecting that straight over there where that other orange diamond is where I need to go. Look at that. Perfect. I'll do some more in a bit. Right, so that's my way back. Nice little creek. And since I'm stopping to lose a layer, and I know exactly where I'm going next because I've got a nice little orange thing over there, I'm going to stop for a sandwich. Yeah, make sure everything that you bring of food is in ziplocs and double ziplocked and ziplocked and ziplocked and as smelly proof as possible, because wildlife can definitely smell that. So always a good idea to make sure you got it in lots of sealed bags. Right, food break over. That's the way I came. Across a little creek here, up across this meadow. Just going to check all my gear. Every now and again, always make sure you got your wallet, your keys, everything's where it should be, so that you know, should you lose them, you know which couple of kilometers you lost them in. It makes it a lot easier. If I went straight through that way and straight up over the top of that mountain, I've no idea why I'd want to do that, but if I did, that's roughly the direction of Missing Link Mountain. If you're curious as to where I am, the mountains I can see right in the distance with the very, very small trees on top, because they're very big, is that's Missing Link, well, this end of Missing Link. So I'm going to continue across this very nice meadow. This bit's really nice. A lot of bees, loads and loads of bees. Very happy to see so many bees, that's really nice. Lots of trees down, lots of aspen. This stuff's very important when it's on the ground. When it's off the ground, it will stay there. You know, you look at some of these trees, they could have fallen over 50 years, 100 years ago. They're going to sit there, they're going to take a very long time to rot. But once they are on the ground, the fungi and everything get into them. Look at these diamonds. I love this. This is amazing. This is what I like about this. Back in the day when everybody used to actually mark trails and do good stuff. See that? Look how well it's grown right into the tree. It's absolutely amazing. I love that stuff. It's brilliant. And they also make fantastic trail markers. So if you come into a meadow, I've just put up a bit of red flagging over there. And if I come into this meadow, I can see 1, 2, 3. I can see 3 or 4 ways out of this meadow that look like trail, but they're not. The trail's actually over there. So meadows are weird. They're nice to explore, but always mark your way into a meadow and mark your way out of a meadow. Because then you come to bits like this, right? I've got a very clear trail that goes that way with a very well-trodden tread. I have a very clear piece on this side with a well-trodden tread. Question is, which is the correct one? I've been following, somebody's been putting orange tape in the trees here. I've been following these bits of orange tape because every time I've deviated off of these bits, I find myself coming back to them. So my suspicion is whoever's putting this up here knows this trail. Yeah, see, there's another bit there. Look. Oh, I see another. Oh my God, look at that mess down through there. And no, I'm not clearing all that out of there. Nope, that can damn well stay there. I will, however, find a way around. Back in the day, oh yeah, I see a way around on this side. People used to put blazes in trees. There's a lot of, see, there's cattle paths all down through there, let's see. But this is the original 19. There's a blaze in a tree there. Those bits of orange tape have not let me down yet, so I'm going to keep following them. Even though I have to step over 20 million trees, I will keep following them. Some of these smaller ones on the way back, I may clear those out. Yes, this is very clearly the trail. Whoever marked this knows this trail, knows it well too. Oh yeah, there's some saw cuts. See, ends cut off, ends cut off. That's what you're looking for, and that's why I mark it like that. I can see this bank's been cut out, so this was possibly an old exploratory road. There's lots of them up in here. Back in the day, when they were looking for oil, gas, coal, all kinds of goodies, this is what they would do. They'd literally just bulldoze a road through the middle of nowhere. Right, another creek crossing. Even if you didn't have welly boots on, I can tell you now, I haven't found any water other than the first one. It would be a bit of a step over. Yeah, this is wide. This was an old road. Guarantee you this was a road. I can tell by the width there. Look at these saw cuts in here. Look. Yeah, this was a road. And now we have the worst height tree that you can possibly have when you're out. And it's too big for me to cut. I'm not going to cut it. I don't have my big saw with me. You can't quite step over it, and you can't quite go under it. They're a pain in the rear end, so I will find my way around it and then continue that way. Alright, back there I was beginning to have my doubts whether I was still on the right route. But there again, in the tree, there it is. Orange diamond. Thank you very much. And I'm going to follow that, see where it goes. This is the old cut line, I think, up through there. That's, you can always tell because it's got all the smaller trees in it. Yeah. This up through here is my trail. I will turn off here. Looks like I've got some small deadfall up there. Like I say, I'm going to be a bit selective with what I cut in the next little bit because there's somewhere I want to get to. Then I'm going to head back and cut some more out on the way back. I don't like to just clear trail just willy-nilly. I like to know it is actually the proper trail. I'm not just going to cut trees here, there and everywhere. It's like I say, I don't cut trees down, I cut trees up. So if it's on the ground, it's fair game. If it's on the trail, I will clear it off the trail. But other than that, it can stay there. Yeah, right. I will continue that way. Well, sometimes on the trail you come across a tree like this. It is not high enough to really go under very easily, and it is a super long tree that goes down into a very boggy area down the bottom. So I'm going to attempt to cut a chunk of that out the middle. I need to look at the tree. I'll put a cut in it first to see which way the tension is, because it's kind of leaning up and down and all over the bloody show, so I'm not sure what's tensioned. I'll get that little piece out underneath there first. And it is actually a good excuse to stop, get my pack off, and just do something useful, because this is one of those trees that it's a real pain in the arse to deal with. So I will cut that out of there and go from there. And that is how you deal with that. That has just taken me, I kid you not, about 10 minutes to cut that out. It's a real pain. Like I say, it was just the wrong height. It's a heavy tree too. So as I was cutting it, it was trying to roll down the hill. This piece was trying to roll. You have to be careful, you don't want to pinch your saw blade. See, I only have one saw with me today. Normally I have two. But yeah, it's out of there. So, get that off the trail. Off you get. There you go. Get these bits off. Right, up the hill I go. Yeah. So much for my plan of not wanting to cut too many big ones. That one I had to cut. I mean, it was just I got tall trees up into the middle of nowhere, and I got bogged down the bottom, so I didn't really have a lot of choice on that one. So either way, again, key check, wallet check, bear spray, make sure everything's in the right spot, and on I go. Things I do for fun, eh? See, some people like to go off and do all the Instagram stuff and all that kind of stuff, which is great. You know, if that's what you like doing, go do it. You know, you only get to live once, not rehearsal. So, more deadfall. So there's a bunch of little bits here I can clear out, make a difference. So I will clear off those little bits and do some more in a bit. That's trail 19, believe it or not. And again, the orange tape people have really helped me out. Amazing. And you think to yourself, there could not be any possible signs that this was ever an actual trail until you come to here. There's a culvert. Look at that. Middle of nowhere. There's a culvert that's still running. It's still doing the job it was built for. So clearly, this was the trail. Look at that. Almost, I was going to cross over on that bit over there, and I thought, what the hell is that? It's culvert. So straight down through the middle of all those big trees there, which, by the way, no, I'm not cutting, because you can actually just go around the end there. You can see where somebody's cut some of those out. Yes, there's a culvert on the trail. So my trail continues that way. The orange tape people are really good. I don't know who you are. If you ever watch this video, thank you very much, because that has actually made this whole trip so much more enjoyable and even possible. Yeah, so thank you. And here I am, another diamond. I was just about to put a piece of tape on there because there's two ways I can go here. There's a cut line down the bottom, which I've been trying to avoid. I've been trying to avoid a cut line. Yeah, I could just walk straight through the cut line, not a problem, but I'm trying to use the old trail 19. And hey presto, another diamond. Excellent. All right, coming into a bit of a more open area by the look of it. I say open, yeah, looks like an overgrown cut line. So there's the cut line down through there. You've got to be careful of cut lines because they just go in a dead straight line. They don't care if they go through swamps, off the end of a cliff or what, they don't care. So up through here looks like I might need my nippers just to clear off some bits through here, and then I'll do some more in a bit. Now there was a red diamond behind me, and I'm now coming out into a fairly open area. Again, always have a look around, see what's what. That's the way I came, which is actually a very nice bit of trail. Now, meadow, a cut bank along there. Mr. Orange Tape hasn't been along here, but I can clearly see that that is a cut bank. That was a road through there, I know it was, I can tell. When you see the cut banks like that, and you see those rows and rows and rows of little tiny conifers, they all grow really well on the side of the roads. Look at it, that's a good clue. So I'm not sure I need to cross here. Let me just have a quick look up here, because this was a road. It's now very wet. That clearly was a road through there. Now I don't know whether that's the trail or the trail goes up through that clearing. So I will explore and let you know as soon as I know. So that was the way I came. Up through that tree, completely overgrown, is an orange marker. I'm not going to clear that out of there because there's some very nice little trees. So I have added a bit of tape this side, and as far as I can see, this was clearly a road that went along this side. Absolutely was a road, no question. But it just disappears into an absolute cluster mess of complete garbage. So I'm suspecting, looking at this deep cut piece through here, is this muddy or is this rocky? Bit of both. Again, this is why I like wearing my Wellington boots. Not the best things to hike in, I can tell you, but you stand in a bit of water like this and I can feel the cool going through my boots. Yeah. So I suspect you come through that meadow, across this little foot cooler, and up that hill over through there. There is actually a triangle on the tree, but it's so overgrown you can't even see it. So that is trail 19 up through there. Yeah, this is my creek. Got a little bit of a bog in here. See if I can find my way around on the tufts of grass. These little tufts of grass make it so much easier. Even though I have boots on, it's my feet are nice and cool now, I can tell you. Cows make all these nice little holes, and the deer and stuff like that. Now, stood here. Oh, okay, right. So I'm just going to wander into this meadow. Yeah, I can clearly see the way out of this meadow. I'm just going to wander into this meadow and show you some clues here. Right, so if you look in front of me, there's kind of a clearing between the trees and some shorter trees. So that is a cut line, and that is my crossing. So yes, jolly good. Now I know where it is. I suspect my trail continues that way, but I will find out in a second. Right, across the meadow there clearly is a pathway, so instead of braiding I'm going to try and just stay on it as much as possible. I do see an orange thing on that nice tree over there. It's not a diamond, it's like a little orange square. Not sure what that is. I've seen several of those. They don't mark the trail, at least they're not the trail that I know of. But across here is a very definite route, so I will try to stay on that as much as I can, because it helps. A, it squashes it in, and B, it doesn't help with the braiding crap everywhere. Yeah. So somewhere over here I'm hoping either Mr. Orange Tape has been, or there'll be a diamond. Always a good idea when you're crossing something like this to look back, and I quite often video it backwards as well, just so I can, if I get lost, I can play my video back. People often ask me, do I get lost? I always say to them, I don't always know where I am, but never yet have I been lost. I've got a remarkably good sense of direction. Yeah, I can remember back in a former career that I had. Oh, that piece that I thought was the road over there, I can see through the trees. There's an open grass bit, which is exactly where that would have lined up. I'm willing to bet you that's the cut line. So I think I crossed the cut line. I think that bit that I was looking at and wondering about was actually the cut line. Yeah, see, trail goes off up through here. Just going to leave myself a little marker on this tree and head on further down. Maybe a little warning for all those people that think it'd be great to go and sit in some nice mountain water this time of year. If you look under the tree under there, there's still solid ice under there, slowly dripping away. And under here we have more ice. But yeah, people quite often think, you know, a hot day like this, they're going to think, oh, just go and relax in the river. You know, you jump in the river and it's too cold, you can actually pass out. So this is my crossing, and I will head up that way. Now I just found myself in a very interesting problem. I came across a piece down there that had a very clear red diamond on it. It was very easy to follow, and I crossed the creek there, and it brought me out into a meadow over there, which I know from somebody's previous video is not trail 19. This is Link Creek in here, as you can see. Here we are, 6th of June, D-Day, 6th of June, and there's still snow and ice in here, and so be very careful. Don't cross on that stuff this time of the year, I can tell you, you'll fall right through it. Yeah, so there's a big meadow through there, and there's a trail goes up over the side on a thing. So if you just hop across this little creek, you can just go straight through that meadow over the hill, and there's a red diamond. This piece in front of me, this mess of a road, is actually an old road. Yeah, that's the bit where I wasn't sure where I was going. So apparently I should have followed the old piece of road, but I can tell you now, it's an absolute cluster mess. So you're better off crossing that creek, coming up over there. There's 100 creek crossings here. Look at them, there's creek crossings everywhere. You'll find yourself, there's a bit of a road over there, comes down into this meadow, cut across this meadow, hey presto, back on 19. Because that bit of 19 behind me is a complete mess. So I will continue down this way, yeah, and see what I find. I'm not going to go too much further, because the sun's coming round to probably about 10 o'clock-ish, I should think. So yeah, where that brought me out was in that big meadow over there, and that's clearly a big flat meadow that's been used for something, no idea what, because there's actually a road into it, a big road too. There's a road this side and there's a road the other side. Both sides of Link Creek have got a road on it, so not sure. Obviously something to do with exploration back in the day. There's no bridges or anything, so no idea, but I can clearly see this has been chiselled out of the bank. It I have to say it was a bit drier over the other side too. But you can clearly see this was a road. You can see where they've chiselled it out. Back in the day, before they had all this environmental concern about everything, they would just set off with a bulldozer and a map, and you can see where they cut all that out of there. Look, straight down through there with a bulldozer and made whatever they wanted. Yeah. Oh, looks like we're coming to a bit of an open piece up here. This might be the bit I'm looking for. Right, I'll do some more in a minute. Right, wakey wakey rise and shine. That is fairly fresh bear crap. Today or yesterday, I would say. So somewhere up in here is a bear. So I will do a bit more yelling, a bit more letting them know I'm around. And but a bear can travel a huge distance in a day, so although I see fresh bear crap, it reminds you that yes, they are around, but it may not still be here. It could be miles away from me by now. Right, I will do some more yelling and get on with it. Wakey wakey rise and shine. That travels down the valley really well. Right, on I go. Right, following this old road bed along, you can see where it's been cut out the side. A lot of small trees in here. One advantage of these old bits is it certainly makes it easier to get some distance, that's for sure. Yeah, where I'm heading is just up here somewhere, and then I should be turning around and coming back. So I'm only doing half this trail today. From this end, I could walk all the way down the Sheep Valley, but then it means I've got to walk all the way back. Yeah, I don't really want to do that. So the bottom end of this trail gets a lot more maintenance than the top end, because a lot more people use it, because that's the sunny side. This is the colder side, as you can see by some of the garbage that's in the creek still. So I will continue on this way a little bit. I suspect I'm getting very close to where I want to be, and the wind I've also noticed is getting up, so I don't want to be in those big heavy trees at the bottom there when the wind gets too strong. So I'll do some more in a bit. Right, I'm going to call this it for today. This is roughly where I wanted to get to anyway. The trail continues on down through that way. I just saw some much fresher bear crap, like not quite steaming but not far off it. So I think I'm actually heading in the same direction as a bear, which is never wise. They use this valley. I do know they use this valley, so I know somewhere down there is a bear. So this is where they live, this is not where I live. So this is as far as I got to this nice little meadow. This is trail 19. I'm going to see if I can join up that funny little bit that joins in the weird meadow down here, see if I can do something about that, and then I'll start clearing out some of the small bits on the way back. Excellent. Yeah, there's a damn great tree down across there. This is the problem up in here. Look, you get these massive great trees. People say about, you know, when they come in and they clear all the trees, this is what happens. If you look at those trees, look how shallow the roots are on that tree. Really, really shallow. There's no depth in there whatsoever. So that is a decent sized tree. It's a good timber tree, and it's now not. So people say, you know, why do they come in and cut these areas and the rest of it? This is one of the reasons why. We don't have huge deep soil. We have big trees, but we don't have very deep soil. So if you don't rotate the crop, what happens is the forest falls down like that. It just becomes a complete mess. That timber now, yes, it becomes part of the forest and it'll rot away, and all the people out there will say, yeah, that's great, and it is great. We do need dead wood in the forest, and that's exactly what they do. They leave it in the forest. A lot of the areas where they're cleaned, they leave a lot of slash. But now that tree's down, look at the gap it opened in the canopy. Yeah, so now all these small trees in here that are going to all just take off now because they got crap loads of sunshine. If you look over in the distance, there's 2 or 3 more of those really big trees over there leaning up in the top of the others. They're hang-ups in the trees there. That yeah. So that is trail 19, continues down that way. About another 6 or so kilometres, I think, would take me down to the Sheep River road. If I had somebody down there with a car, I'd just walk through, not a problem. The bottom end of this trail, like I say, gets a huge amount more traffic than the top end of this trail. Top end of 19 doesn't get much at all since they closed the road. So what I will do is I will head back down. I keep finding these old diamonds, which is really cool to see. I'm glad they're still in existence, but finding a way through some of this stuff is a little bit of a challenge. That there, if anybody's not familiar with what that is, let's see if I can get my shadow there. That there is wolf crap. That is last year's wolf crap, thank goodness. Yeah, mind you, wolves, if they notice people around, they're gone. They don't want to have anything to do with people. So people think they're all bloodthirsty chasing them, but that is actually last year's wolf crap. Yeah, gives you an idea. Gives you an idea of how big that is. That's my boot. Yeah, that's wolf crap. Yeah, so they are around. There's a bear around, like I say, somewhere down that valley. I just found some fresher bear crap, much fresher. So it's somewhere down in there is a bear. So I have made lots and lots and lots of noise, and I'm going to head back the other way. This is their home. I'm visiting. I'm encroaching on their space. So time I left. Yeah, right, on I go, which is back that way, straight through this meadow. That's where the wolf crap is over there, and this is the incredibly fresh bear crap. It's got berries in it. It's almost steaming, that one. So I'm heading out of here, making lots of noise. I'm going to head back across this way. If I remember right, you got to step over these logs here. So there is a bear up in here. We do have black bears, we do have grizzly bears. Black bears, way more timid. Grizzly bears, they're the king of the forest and they know it, and they'll soon let you know that you're in their home. So always be prepared. I do have bear spray. I'm making lots of noise. But like I say, good idea to know what's what, know what's around you. Right, I'm going that way. Right, on the way back, this bit's on a bit of old road, as you can see. It's been carved out the side here quite nicely. So I've got a fair way to go back. I've got about 6 kilometres to go back. So but I've got plenty of daylight, so that's good. Now I know there's a bear up in here. I don't really want to be wandering around up here in the dark, so yeah, I will head back. I will clear out a bunch more of this deadfall on the way back. I'm not going to do much more rabbiting on this bit because you've seen all this bit of trail, and I'll do some more when I get down near the meadow at the far end. Right, this bit's a bit overgrown, a lot of alder and that in here, so I will clear out as much of this as I can. Just chomp some back. That's where you need a brush cutter. Do this in 10 minutes. A pair of nippers takes a long time, so I'll clear out some of this. Right, this is this meadow pit they found on the way up here. In the bottom, just off to my left, is Link Creek, and there is a trail this side which was a road, and there's a trail the other side which was a road. So I'm not sure which one's going to be the best one to go about. I came up the other side and then crossed over to this side, so I'm going to see whether I can actually find my way through this side rather than crossing into the meadow again, because from the meadow it's real easy, just straight through the meadow over a very small creek crossing, and you're back on a really good trail. But there is a road this side. As you can see, it's all been carved out the hill many years ago, and it's still here, so I'm going to see if there's anything I can do with it, and see if I can make it a bit better. Right, on I go. Yes, I just found one of the old red diamonds. So on the way back I've stayed basically to the right. There's a much nicer trail, just cleared some small pieces out. There's a red diamond there, and I think this is going to bring me back out into that meadow that I was in. So I want to see where I went wrong here. This looks like a well-trodden across the grass trail here, so I will follow that. Wakey wakey rise and shine. Make some noise. Actually, do you know what? I think I'm going to put a bit of marker tape in this tree over here, because I think I see where I went wrong, and I think other people might make the same mistake. So let me just put a marker here. Right, so I followed along through there. There's some new trees in there, overgrown. I've just put some tape across the middle of it because that was the part that was very hard to follow. And as you can see, we have one of our legendary diamonds. That's on this side, so I will follow that. And I see some very old cuts here. I found another culvert, by the way, back up there that's still working. Yeah. If you look at this, is what you're looking for. So these big old trees like this, where they've been cut, you know somebody cut those with a chainsaw. They weren't cut by hand, and so you know that was back in the day when they used to actually maintain this trail. So I will just clear up a few little bits and pieces. I have to say, this is a very nice trail to explore, and I will head back down that way. This is the bit I think that had so much deadfall in it, it was ridiculous, but I'll do what I can. Right, so this is actually trail 19 through here. That's that meadow over there that they cut through. As you can see, there's quite a mess down in here, so I think this is where I lost it. So I'm going to see if I can improve this piece of trail down through here. But I've got the bits of tape, and see if that'll make it a little bit clearer for people. Right, I'm going to head on down that way. Right, this was the turn off. So I came down there, across the creek and up through that meadow, which you can do, because as soon as you get into that meadow, over the other side, you go through this meadow, then there's a nice big wide bit of road, brings you out into another big meadow. If you just cross Link Creek there, off to your left and turn right, it'll bring you out on this trail anyway. So I've put some tape on this one. This is why I missed it. Look at it. I missed that. So I put a bit of tape there. Hopefully people can see that. So go under that tree, and there's a really nice trail up through there. So you can actually go either way. So yes, this is where I turned off. There's the other red diamond. He's just on the tree up there. So I missed this. I missed this piece. You have to go that way. That makes a difference. So yes, if you come this way, you can go that way if you want. It's just as easy. But then you have to cross Link Creek twice. If you go this way, you don't have to cross it at all. So yes, go that way. Yeah, so let's just make this bit a little bit more obvious. I've cut a few bits there just so you can see. When you come down here, there is a red diamond just on the bottom of these trees on the right. It looks like you have to cross the creek. That's exactly what I did. But if you cross it there, you've got to cross it again a bit further down. When you get down towards that creek, if you turn left, don't cross it. If you turn left, follow it up, and you can see the trail from there. It's very easy to spot from there. But yeah, it looks like you have to go straight across, which is, I suspect, where the cows go. But you can cut across there and into a nice big meadow right up the far side there. There's two meadows here. This is the first one. There's another one a bit further down. But if you go into that second meadow, you do have to cross Link Creek again. So if you stay this side, down to the creek here, turn left, just up and around that corner at the bottom before you get to the water, you'll see a very nice trail goes off to the side. Yeah, follow that up. Hey presto, takes you where you need to go. Perfect. Right, just done another creek crossing up through there. Really cool tree there. Look at that. Love the moss on that. That is really cool. Yeah, I can't remember what they call this stuff. Even in the middle of winter, it's nice and bright like that. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah, that's neat. Like that. That's a big tree. Well, that thing fell over. And to answer the age-old question, oh yeah, that one made a noise when it fell over, guarantee it. Right, so down through here, we need to stop for a drink. Getting a bit stumbly on my feet. It's always a sure sign for me that I need more water. So once I get back in the shade the other side of there, I will do just that. There's a nice big bright red diamond over there. I'll head across to there because I think I'll remember that one on the way up here. Yeah, not too far now from the big meadows at the top. I've done a fair distance. I was only about 6 kilometres down this trail. Wasn't all the way down there. It goes for about another 6 after that, but I didn't really want to be doing a 30-40 kilometre day, so yeah, that's nice diamond in the tree, thank you. And I'm heading that way. Currently I'm facing north, so I've got the sun behind me, so I'm heading roughly north-ish. So yeah, that's good. I cut this one off this morning. This is what I tend to do. So like, I'll cut this, it's blatantly obvious. I mean, there's a red diamond on the tree up there, so it's blatantly obvious. But if you're coming the other way, you can't see it. So what I do is I'll cut them off like this, and then I'll put the other piece on it. When you're hiking, you naturally look for cut ends. So if you do it that way, you've got 2 cut ends, one easy to spot from either direction. So that is my way back. I'm going to head that way and have a water break in these trees in a minute. Right, just come down through the forest there, another creek crossing. There's 2 or 3 of these on the way back. Maybe more, I don't know. There's at least 2 or 3. But I should think this time of the year is the only time of the year to even have any water in them. As you can see, they did some trail maintenance out here a few years back. Actually a lot of years back, that one. Same as that one up there, that was cut a long time ago. Across the creek, up the hill. Going a bit slower now. That sun has definitely warmed up. I can tell you now, I'm not a fan of hot. But, some people say to me, you know, why do you live in Canada where it's minus 30 in the winter? Because I actually don't mind the cold. But if I had a choice of it being like hovering around 0 to plus 10 all year and plus 30 to plus 40, I'll take the 0 to 10 anytime. I used to live somewhere where it was 40 degrees pretty much all the bloody time, and 9 months I think it didn't go really below, I think 27 to 30 for 9 months. And when it rained, we all went outside, sat outside on a chair, laying in the rain, basically doing snow angels in the rain, and had a few beers, and thoroughly enjoyed the rain. But I can tell you now, the this is warm. I keep having to stop for water breaks. Now I did bring a fair amount of water with me today. I've got enough water for 2 days. But, I'm getting through it fairly fast, so I need to monitor my water. As you can see, this was all this stuff was cut years ago, back when they used to do trail maintenance through here, but unfortunately there isn't any now. I'm very nearly back to the big meadows. I'll do some more when I get back to the meadows. Right, well, I've just come that way, very obvious trail down through that way, and wind's starting to get up. I'm starting to run out of water, which is a bit concerning. Yeah, I have plenty back in the car, and that's facing north. This is trail 19 facing north. As you can see, this area doesn't get too much traffic from people. There's some big trees down in here too. Yes, as I said earlier, somebody been down in there with some orange tape and what have you, and actually marked up that trail pretty good. I've seen reports that that trail is extremely hard to find, you know, it's completely lost and you can't find it, and it's all overgrown and so much deadfall and what have you. But in all honesty, I actually found it fairly easy to follow, mostly because Mr. Orange Tape Man had been through there, and it's obviously somebody that knows that trail. So, as I said earlier, if you are watching this and you are Mr. Orange Tape Man, thank you very much. Right, I don't know where that valley goes. I was looking at that on the way in here. That looks man-made. That looks like could have been an old logging road or something up through there. That looks man-made. That doesn't look natural. And then down through here, that's obviously a road. But this is a rather cool area, I have to admit. I've got a very nice breeze out here now. That's one thing with your backpack. Your back gets hot and yucky, but once that breeze gets on it, oh, it's like air conditioning. Yeah. Yeah, that up through there most definitely looks like man-made kind of road or something up through there. But if you're heading 19 south, that's straight over through the trees over that way. There's a great big tree across the trail there, can't miss it. And then we come up here, a little bit of deadfall through this piece here. I've cleared out an insane number of trees today. Yeah, I have no idea how many. I stopped counting at about 30, so I have no idea. But, lots. And in terms of making a dent on it, yeah, I made a small dent, but that is about it. It was a small dent. There's a lot of deadfall up in here. If I came through here with a chainsaw, I'd probably need 2 cans of gas easy to clear this lot out. Right, so I'm just going to hop, skip and jump over all this lot because there's a lot of cow prints in here and it's a bit wet. And I should be back in the meadow in a minute. I should be able to see the road. Well, this was the first big one I cut out of this trail this morning on the way up here. And it was nice and cool this morning. You sure as hell ain't now. A few broken sticks in there. I can see the road over in the distance. Right, that's trail 19. It's pretty much where it starts, right here. There's a couple of meadows behind me, but you head down this way, follow this track across. I can actually see the road, the old Gorge Creek Road or whatever it was called, over there. Now I did have another plan for today. I have a very strict rule with my water. Once I hit half water, I head back. And I am very close to half water. So I have a bit of a dilemma. I can walk up here to the road and walk back up the road, which I'm not a favourite. It's not my favourite thing. The hill in front of me, that's the one I wanted to head up. I particularly wanted to head up that hill today, but that looks a long walk. I'm not sure I want to walk up there today in this heat. So I'd have to go back to the car to get more water anyway. And if I do, I'm certainly swapping out these welly boots, because although they're very good at crossing creeks, they're a pain in the arse for hiking. This what I've done today, by the time I get back, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So by the time I get back, probably about 20 kilometres I've walked in my welly boots today, and I can tell you they are not the most comfortable of hiking attire. However, they do work. Yeah. Oh. I also don't have my big hat on me. I have a dilemma. I really want to do that hill. If I don't do that hill, I've got to do it tomorrow, which means camping out here somewhere tonight. Yeah. Yes. That was an old camp over in there. That's where that old sign was this morning. But I will head down across here. I can see the big meadow down the bottom. That's a rather cool tree. It's rather nice, eh? Yeah. I can see the road in the distance, but that hill behind it is the hill I wanted to go up. So I'll get out to the road, I think, and have a look and see how I'm doing for water. Because if I go and get my boots on, I've got to, that adds about another 4 kilometers to my day, because I've got to go all the way back to the car and then all the way back to here. So I shall see when I get there. Let me go and have a look. Just as a note to anybody doing this trail, if you want to head back out onto the road, it's basically straight down this hill across that open meadow and you're on the road. If you want to take Link Creek, which is in the trees, this heat's beginning to bug me. So if you want to take Link Creek, you go that way down to the road. You can see the road in the distance. And there's a big aspen over here that's kind of snapped off in 2 pieces. This will get me down into the trees, and there was that nice creek crossing on Link Creek about halfway down, so I might stay in the trees because it's cooler. And yeah, so if you're doing 19 would continue that way out to 63 or whatever that other number is, 63, 65, whatever it is. Yeah, but there's a big snapped off aspen here. If you head into the forest where this aspen is, Mr. Orange Tape has been down through this way, so I suspect this is the way they come. And I remember there was quite a nice creek crossing down in the bottom here, so this is certainly going to be cooler in the trees, so I will head on that way. Oh, heading back along the trail, what do I find? One of the old orange diamonds. Back in the day when this was an official trail, it's certainly a very useful trail, I'll give it that. Very nice. I enjoy it down here. This is a good walk. Right, I'm almost back at the car, and then I'm going to have a good sit down and something to eat. Well, this is the last creek crossing on this one. That's Link Creek. Back to the parking lot is just down through this way, not very far. And I'll do some when I get back. And here I am, just come back out of the Link Creek trail there. As you can see, there's the sign down there. Parking lot's just around the corner. I am just about back to where I need to be. Probably another 100 meters. So I'm going to call that it for now. That was one hell of a walk. I worked out, I'd done about 20-25 kilometers in welly boots on a very hot day. Trust me, my feet are killing me. Right, thanks for coming along.